You know, there's this one thing that keeps almost every manager up at night: losing their best people. It's expensive, it's a huge blow to morale. I mean, it's just painful. But what if you could see it coming? What if you could figure out why someone might leave before they even think about leaving? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about today. We're going to dive into how AI is totally shaking up the employee retention game and maybe, just maybe, making that classic exit interview a thing of the past.
All right, so before we get into the cool tech solution, we really have to get our heads around just how big this problem is. It all comes down to the staggering cost of someone walking out the door.
And look, we're not talking about small change here. The numbers are pretty eye-watering. To replace just one employee, it can cost a company something like 50 to 60% of that person's entire annual salary. And think about it, that's not just the cost of a job ad. You've got lost knowledge walking out the door, the time and money to train someone new, and then there's the hit to the team's morale and productivity. It all adds up fast.
So with that kind of money on the line, it brings up the million-dollar question for pretty much every leader out there. How in the world do you stop your best people from even thinking about looking somewhere else?
Well, you know, it's funny. The answer is often sitting right there, inside the company's own walls. It's all about tapping into this super powerful but often overlooked idea, promoting from within, or, as the experts like to call it, internal mobility.
And the impact here it's not small. It's actually pretty dramatic. Check this out. Companies that are really good at this, helping their people move into new roles internally, they keep their employees for almost twice as long. We're talking about a difference between 7.4 years on average versus just 4.1 years. That's huge.
And here's the kicker. This isn't just some clever corporate strategy. It's literally what people are asking for. There was this LinkedIn study that found a whopping 94% of employees said they would stick around longer if their company just invested in their career development. It's simple, right? People want to grow, and honestly, they'd prefer to do it without having to pack up their desk.
Okay, so we know this works. It keeps people happy, it saves money. So what's the problem? Well, here's the roadblock. If you're a big company, how do you actually connect, say, thousands of employees with hundreds of different internal jobs? It's a massive puzzle. You've got managers who might want to hang on to their best people, or maybe an employee just never even hears about a great opening in a different department. Trying to do this at scale, that's always been the really, really hard part.
And this is where things get really interesting, because the solution to that huge scalability problem, it's AI. Artificial intelligence is stepping in to act as this kind of super smart, high-tech internal matchmaker.
The technology is called an internal talent marketplace, and you can kind of think of it like a living, breathing system inside the company. It's always looking at what skills the business needs, what skills the employees already have, and then it's proactively matching them up with new roles, projects, even the perfect training to get them ready for what's next.
I really like this quote from the source material because it just makes it so clear. The AI acts like a perceptive coach. It's not just sitting there waiting for you to search for a new job. It's tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, based on everything we know about your skills and the projects you've worked on, this new role over in marketing, it could be a perfect fit.
So how does this AI coach actually do its thing? Let's break it down and see how it really elevates the talent a company already has.
At its core, it's a really powerful but pretty simple three-step process. First, the AI just soaks up all the data it can on an employee, their skills, their work history, even the career goals they've talked about. Then it's constantly scanning for matches against all the open roles and projects. And finally, and this is the cool part, it doesn't just match, it suggests, creating these personalized career paths and pointing to the exact training you need to get there.
So the first big strategy is just pure skill matching. And this is where AI just shines. It finds those hidden gems, right? Like the person in accounting who has killer data analysis skills that would be perfect for a project on the engineering team. And what's really crucial here is that it does this without the normal human biases. It doesn't care who you eat lunch with, it only cares about what you can do. That makes everything so much fairer and honestly more effective.
But it's not just about finding your next gig. It's about seeing the whole journey. That's where personalized career pathing comes into play. The AI can actually show you several different ways your career could unfold, all inside the same company. It'll map it out and say, hey, if you want that senior role, you'll need to take these courses or work on this kind of project. The effect is incredible. We're talking about a potential 30% boost in retention for key people. And now for what might be the biggest game changer of all. The AI can kind of see into the future. I'm talking about predictive retention analytics. The system can analyze all these little data patterns to spot employees who might be a flight risk.
It can flag them before they even start polishing their resume, which gives managers a golden opportunity to step in, have a real conversation about growth, and maybe offer a new challenge. It's all about solving the problem before it even happens.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But it's not a magic wand. For any of this to actually work, you've got to pair all that cool technology with a very real human touch.
And yeah, making this happen is not a walk in the park. There are some major hurdles. You've got to worry about things like AI bias, making sure the algorithm isn't just repeating old, unfair hiring patterns. Then there's the massive issue of data privacy. And finally, you have to manage the people side of things, actually getting everyone to trust and use this new system.
Which brings us to what's probably the most important point of all. This quote really nails it. The goal here is not for AI to take over a manager's job. The whole idea is for the AI to do all the heavy lifting with the data, which frees up managers to have much better, more meaningful, and just more human conversations with their team about what's next for them.
So when you tie this all together, what are we really looking at? This goes way beyond just a new piece of software. It's about building a completely different kind of company culture. It's about building a culture of growth.
It's about creating a place where this idea becomes totally normal for everybody. Your best career move might be the one you make without leaving. I mean, when people truly believe that, you've created an organization that doesn't just go out and find talent, it holds on to it.
And that really leaves us with one last big question to chew on, not just for leaders, but for all of us. Is the place you work designed to constantly be on the hunt for new talent? Or is it fundamentally built to grow the incredible talent that's already there? The answer to that question might just define the future of work.